Hey Fae folk, welcome back to the video. I bet none of you thought I was going to post. I didn't think I was going to be making this video, but they got me. Okay, let me defend myself because you may recall that I had some not so nice words to say about this Playmates Winx reboot that we're seeing here in the US. Stella, again, something about the face. Like honestly, most of these faces I feel like are just too high up and they don't have enough like forehead. One of the big things that you learn if you're like taking art lessons and you're trying to learn how to draw people is that the head is bigger than you think it is. So it's very, very common for people to tend to like draw the face and then have a tiny forehead and then like not really account for the rest of your skull that's back here. And it always looks uncanny. And I feel like with these dolls, they have not accounted for the skull. Like her eyes are just right by the top of her head, and so it just looks a little bit strange. And the last one, Musa, is the worst sufferer of that. She has no head. Her eyes are up here. It's so bad. And I stand by that based on the images that we had at the time. Okay, that promo picture that I had used when I like did my dolls I don't want video and critiqued them, those dolls looked rough. Like they definitely didn't look great. And even looking at like the stock photos online for these dolls, I don't really think that they photograph that well, which does make me nervous for the line as a whole, just because I feel like historically we've seen doll brands that don't photograph well. Like Mermaids is the first one that always comes to mind. Those dolls, in every photo, in every video I've ever seen of them, they just like don't look good. But in person, I think they're genuinely beautiful dolls. And I'm sort of feeling the same way about Winx because did not like the promo photos, did not even like the stock photos. And then I was in Target and I saw them and I was like, what? They're so cute. They just like have a certain charm about them. I'm not gonna like lie to you. I still have my qualms, my complaints. They're definitely still not the highest quality dolls on the market right now. But like in person, they do just look so much better than they do in the promo photos. And again, they have like charm. I'm sure I'm gonna use that word 10,002 times this video because that's just what I feel when I look at them. Like they just have this certain whimsical quality. Duh, no shit, they're fairies. But like even other fairy dolls don't always capture that. Whereas these dolls, I think there's just something about them that is, again, not the highest quality across the board. Like I know that, but they are really genuinely cute. So I did see 4 of them in person. Techna and Musa are apparently only available online, and I think within the US they're only like on Target's website or in Target stores right now. I don't know if that's going to change. I'm very uneducated because again, I didn't expect to be making this video. But yeah, I saw the 4 in store and I was like agonizing over which ones to get, and then adding the 2 online exclusives. I was like, wait, but like I really like the concepts for those. So if they also look so much better than their stock photos, I might want those. And my loving, wonderful husband was like, they're on sale, just get them, because Target had a toy sale going on. So I paid 13 bucks a piece for these dolls, which like that's a solid price. Even what they retail at, I think they retail for like 17 or 18 US dollars, which compared to other dolls on the market, I do think is a like nice, solid price. That's roughly what Scared Ass Island. I kept wanting to say Skulltimate Secrets, and I was like, no, Skulltimate Secrets is like 30 bucks. That's not it. But Scared Ass Island from Monster High, like the sort of more budget line, they were around this price. So like I do think that that's a solid price for dolls that like come with a little less, have a little less articulation, and especially on a sale, I just went for it, okay? And my honest thought was, okay, I'm going to order them all. I'll get the, sale price because it was one of those you have to spend so much to get the sale deal. And then I'll just like return the ones that I don't like. And then they all came in and I was like, I think I like kind of all of them. So we're going to be doing a big fat unboxing, 6 whole dolls today. I'll try to make it like a digestible length, but frankly, I can make no promises. I am really excited to get into these dolls, y'all. I'm really hyped. Isn't that funny how you can go so fast from I hate all of them to I suddenly want to buy all of them? Am I alone on that one? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to be doing the rubric scores for all of these dolls in this video just because I did get them on a sale price. So like, it's easier for me to be like, yeah, this is totally justifiable when I didn't pay full price for these dolls. Out of curiosity, I did do 2 rubrics that I'll flash on screen here. One was Musa because she's like pretty tied for my top spot, I would say. So I wanted to do like my favorite ones. We did Musa, and then her scores are up here. And then I also did Stella, who I think is my least favorite out of this bunch of dolls. And so her scores up here. Both of them, I don't remember the scores off the top of my head because why would I ever be prepared in that capacity? But I know that they were both scores that like meant I could have paid full price for them, and like that would have been, justifiable via the rubric. So I guess there is that, but I didn't want to go through all of them just again because I did get them on sale. Real quick, we will take a look at like how the box is. So we'll pull Aisha out here. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad for y'all, but we're gonna unbox all of them, so you're gonna get to see them. Here is the art on the back, and all the backs of the boxes are the exact same. I don't know anything about Winx. I know like I saw some episodes of it when I was a kid, but it was like not something that I would go through the TV to find. I don't even know, like there was almost nothing that I went through the TV specifically to find. I just like hoped that it was on when I wanted to watch it because I don't really think as a kid I had a firm understanding of how TVs worked. But like I would see episodes here and there if it happened to be on, but I was never like a devoted Winx fan. So I'm going in kind of blind. Sorry if that's bothersome for some of you guys, but on the flip side, maybe it's helpful to get like a really unbiased, unnostalgic review. I don't know. But we do have them currently ranked according to my favorites. I'm really torn between Aisha and Musa as my like number one spot. I think these are both really just really, really gorgeous dolls. Then we have Bloom here in the middle. I'm like double checking to make sure I have them lined up right. That's why you see me leaning to like see the doll. Her color story is just very, very striking to me. Then we have Techna. She's got my little side shave. She's like a little, more on the androgynous side, which I do sometimes vibe with. I think that that's quite fun. Then we have what? Flora. I wanted to say Bloom again. That was my bad. Then we have Flora, and then we have Stella. It's not that I dislike Stella. Like, she is my least favorite. I still purchased her. I still think she's really cute. It's just her boots that give me pause. But that's the current ranking. We will re-rank them at the end to see if my thoughts have changed at all. But think I think that's everything that we need to get through for the intro. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox all these girly pops, which will probably take me like a solid 20, 30 minutes. But for you, it will be just very, very quick. And then we'll reconvene, look at each doll, see what, they come with and quality, all that jazz, and hopefully have a great time doing so. So I will see y'all in a moment. Real quick editing intermission here. I didn't put this in the video because as far as I know, it doesn't pertain to the dolls, but while I was editing, I was just like, maybe I should make a note of it. So I did just want to say I am aware that within the newest Winx show, there has been some AI usage. To be honest, I'm not like 100% sure exactly what the AI usage was, just because I haven't been paying that much attention, but I do know that generative AI was used within the context of the new show, and we don't love that here. Not really a big fan, but again, the reason I didn't mention it while I was filming is because as far as I know, like to my knowledge, AI wasn't used for the dolls specifically. So that's why I didn't mention it like in the video because I was so focused on the dolls, but I did just want to pop in and make it very clear real quick that I'm not like trying to support AI or anything like that. Like that's not the vibe here. I'm just trying to unbox dolls. So hopefully that clears things up. Now we can unbox them. Okay, we have all our girls lined up here. I'm really, really excited because I feel like we're starting this off on such a bang because I really need to highlight how these dolls were packaged. So I'll go ahead and use Stella as an example. It was really easy to just like tear the cardboard off the back, and then in the plastic, there were two straps, so like one around each ankle, one strap around each wrist, one strap around the neck, and then because she has like long loose hair, this didn't apply to everyone, just depending on the hairstyle. But we had one of those like old style little like sewn pieces of plastic that like was, kind of pinching the hair together and keeping it in place that you just like rip apart. Ripped super easily. No T-ties in any of the hair or any of the clothes, which like is just astronomical to me. Like that's so rare at this point. This was a genuine, easy, breezy, like convenient unboxing process. And there's nothing in any of my dolls' hair or no holes in their clothing because of that. So immediately we're starting off on a good note. We're going to go ahead and just like go down the line. No, this isn't the exact same order that it's almost, we'll go ahead and switch it. I was like, I thought it was pretty far off, but it was pretty close to the order. So we have all the girls turned away so that we can have a moment in the spotlight. Nice spotlight for each one. I'm really excited, guys. I'm really excited. So we're gonna be starting out with Aisha. I need to. Okay, I saved this. I was checking that. She's the fairy of the waves. So I guess she has like water powers going on. Starting with her face, all of them do have like a bit of pixelation. I don't think it's showing up super, super clear on camera. It's not bad. Like, it's not prohibitive to me to enjoy these dolls. Obviously, like I saw them in person and liked them better than the stock photos, right? So I saw it in person and still thought that they were really, really gorgeous. But I do just want to like make a note of that, that if you are someone who like despises even an ounce of pixelation, which fair to you, everyone's allowed their own opinions, these probably aren't going to work for you because they are like a slightly, slightly pixelated face. But it's really not bad at all. She's so cutie. I did think that Aisha was one that looked like actually good still in the promo photos. Like she's one that I'd always thought looked pretty good. So no surprise that like she turned out very nice. She does have an entire head of micro braids, and it is so, I love how they've done this. It's so, so cool. So she's got the whole head of micro braids, and then she has them all pulled up into a ponytail, and then there's 6 different twists, and it's just so, so gorgeous, especially with the tinsel that's woven in there. I know not everyone is a fan of tinsel, but like all of these dolls have tinsel. These are probably not for you if you hate tinsel. I mean, I guess you could remove it, but like, I don't know. I personally really like tinsel, and I think the color that they chose, where it's this blue green reflective, is so, so gorgeous. And just the way that it moves in the twists, like how it's not overwhelming. I mean, even from the back, you can hardly see any of it all. But the way that you see it in her hairline, and then every once in a while in her twists, you just get like a glimpse of shimmer. I think that is genuinely so unbelievably pretty. Now, I will say, I have seen a photo making the rounds on Instagram, I think it was, of the fact that if you take her hair down, she has a fat bald spot in the middle. And it's so hard because, like, normally, y'all know I would be the first one to jump on that shit and be like, this sucks. However, I do sort of understand it. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Just because of like the amount of volume that you get when you're not using like nylon, saran, polypropylene, that sort of thing. I mean, you can even see it with Flora's braid. We'll talk about that in a little bit. How her braid is like very thick. It's because of the amount of hair she has on her head. And those are just like thin little strands, right? When you get into these micro braids where the each like strand, for lack of a better term, is significantly thicker, if you did her whole head, you wouldn't be able to accomplish this hairstyle, right? Like this would be so big and bulky, like just because they're so like tiny compared to humans, their heads can get overwhelmed by the volume of hair a lot quicker than a person's can, if that makes sense. So like, I know that it's not great. I'm not trying to 100% excuse it, I guess. Like this doll definitely is not suitable for if you want to redo her hair, because she's got a big fat bald spot in the middle. But I just wanted to say, like, I do understand because of how they wanted to execute this style that, like, I don't really know if there was another option for that, if that makes sense. Like, this was the way to do it for it to look this good. So just depending on what you want from the doll, it's like either a big pro or a big con. I'm just saying I can see both sides of it, I guess. Like, I totally understand why it's frustrating, but also I like how it lays, and I think that, you know, they did what they had to do to make it lay this way. But moving on from her head, we have to talk about the wings, y'all. Okay, so they have like this little mechanism in the back, and you can see they sort of fold in and out, and they can go almost flat there. Very nice. They're just made of plastic, so it's colored, and you can see there's like the glitter on the front here. I think this is so pretty, and I just love like the fluttery quality it has. I don't know, like something about the way they move. Even when they just like stand, they like sort of shimmy a little bit. I'm not finding the right words for this, but I think that these are really, really gorgeous wings. Like, y'all know I'm extremely picky when it comes to fairies and mermaids because I love fairies and mermaids. And so I will tear them apart because I don't want a lackluster fairy. I want an excellent fairy, right? Same thing with mermaids. I'm just Winx or fairy. So like if you make a fairy doll and their wings are ugly, I'm gonna call it out because I hate that. These are so pretty. Like they're so delicate and so shimmery and colorful. And I just, this mechanism I think is so, it's just so good. And you can pop it out. So that makes it really, really easy to, if you wanted to change their clothes or anything like that, or if you just like don't want them to be in fairy form. I mean, these, I'm assuming are like their fairy costumes by default. I don't think that they walk around in these outfits, but like you can take it off if you want to. I don't want to. I'm gonna pop that sucker right back in there, but you can. And so I do think that that's nice that they offer you the option, like if you're not into it. And like, as you can see, it's nice and sturdy in there. It wasn't hard to get in or out. Like, we're loving that. We are super, super vibing with the wings. I do think it's interesting, like, because they can fold so flat. So sometimes I'm like, oh my God, did they fall out? And it's just that they're flat because their hair, like gravity or something, is pushing them back. Because they do, like, a little bit with gravity sort of move. They're just really cool. I think they look really, really good. Moving on down to her outfit, I will say I think that like the fabric is just a little bit bulky on all of these dolls. Like it definitely feels a little bit thick. But outside of it being like just a little thick fabric wise, we do have a lot of different fabrics, which I think is super nice. There's like sort of a mesh at her hips, and then here as like the like collar line. I don't know if that's really the right term. We have this beautiful iridescent fabric in the middle, and then like these cool teal shorts and like stripes in there. And then she's got her lace up blue boots. They are like certainly not the same blue as her outfit, but I think that when her wings are out, it really helps because her wings have a little bit of that like more true blue, whereas like the outfit is a little bit more green. So it kind of brings it all together for me. Like when you hide them, I feel like that looks a little bit more disjointed, but when they're out, I need to like zoom out a little bit. You guys aren't going to be able to. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better for y'all so you can see everything. But yeah, I think like the wings really help tie the colors together. And I do think the shoes are nice. Like they're not crazy detail painted or anything like that, but they are glittery. We've got the lace up detailing that is painted. So like I appreciate that there's at least a little bit of something on there. You know, they're not completely empty boot wise. She's just really cute. We are going to talk articulation though, because this is like a new iteration of Winx, new brand, so to speak. And I haven't talked about them before, so you probably have heard from other people, but I'm going to go ahead and go through the articulation. So the heads can rotate. They can't really tilt. Yeah, like there's like maybe a hint of a tilt, but it's definitely not much. The arms at the shoulder can go all the way around, and then they can go almost up to 90 degrees, not quite there. You can see the elbow and the wrist are static, so there's no extra articulation there. Nothing in like the chest or waist area. Hip-wise, we can go forward. Like you can push it high up, clearly, but she doesn't really stay high up. Let's try the other one, see if it's just... Let me actually grab... Okay, Stella's in a skirt. I just want to see if it's different, if it's like the shorts that are... Okay, so Stella can definitely go up a little bit more, so I think it might be the shorts that are restricting Aisha just a smidgen there. It's still not full range of motion, but I just like want to try to be accurate with that, and I don't want to critique her too harshly. As far as going out, that's about as far as you can go out on either side. And then the knees get like a good, that scared me. I thought that was going to pop out for a second. Just about 90 degrees of articulation there. So they are certainly not the most articulated dolls. Like I absolutely understand that critique. I have heard a rumor, I don't know how true this is because I'm not in contact with anyone official, but I've heard that Playmates made the like limited articulation for this first release to see how these dolls go over, and then if they sell really, really well, they're open to adding articulation. Again, that's allegedly, but we can be hopeful. I would love to see more articulation on these dolls, but at the same time, like, I get that they are cheaper. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be like, it's fine, you can't complain about it. You absolutely can. I like the fact that they are on the more affordable side, especially if you can catch them on a sale like I did. And I think that if the company is like open to adding stuff in the future, I don't want to be too harsh, if that makes sense either. But that's going to be it for Aisha. So now we get to move on to Miss Musa. Stay. So Musa is one that I'm quite surprised I like as much as I do, because in the promotional imagery, she was one of the ones that I think I was the meanest to. She just looked silly, y'all. She just looked a little bit silly. And you can definitely see, like, especially if you take the profile view of these dolls, their foreheads are kind of small. Like, her eyes are a little high up on her head, but it's so much better than it was in the promo photos. Like, I'm not crazy. That was so genuinely terrible. And I think she looks a lot better here. She is the Fairy of Music. I didn't have to check that one. Musa was a pretty dead giveaway for me. Her wings are like vaguely like piano keys, which I do think is quite cute. And then we have just a little bit of glitter there. I do sort of wish, just as someone who's a big fan of glitter, that we had a little bit more on the wings, but like that's a personal preference. I still think that these are really, really cute. You can kind of see what I was talking about how like hair can get bulky so fast on a doll with her too, because like her little pigtails are definitely very thick, but I think that they've managed to make it still look good. Like it's not thick to the point where it looks silly, in my opinion. It's just like, oh, whoa, those are like notably thick pigtails. If they were any thicker, I think she would look a twinge ridiculous. So we're toeing the line, but I think that we are still on the correct side of the line. And her face really is just it's so much better in person, y'all. She's got like a blue tinsel throughout her hair, which I think like reads as for tinsel fairly subtle. Like Aisha's obviously the blue, like green stood out a lot more against the dark brown versus this is like blue against blue. So it's not quite as in your face. It's still very, very pretty though. She's such a little cutie patootie. I love her outfit. Like she might have the best outfit to me. I cannot even lie. I just think this is so fun. Again, we've got a bunch of different fabrics. This fabric used for the shorts is crazy. I don't think it's doing enough on camera, frankly. It's like a beautiful, like multi blue to purple shift. It's so stunningly gorgeous. We've got like a fun cutout and like, again, a couple different like fabrics here and this like more fuchsia. It's just so nice. She looks so pretty. I love it for her. I'm just like, I don't know. They're so cute. I feel like I don't have the words to express why they're so cute to me, but something about them is just, again, that word I said in the beginning, charming. So charming. Moving on down, she's got also tall boots. This time the laces aren't painted, but we do have the buckles and the straps painted pink. Mine's not quite perfect on this side. It's not like horrific, but just so you are aware. I think they look really, really good. I think the balance of colors for her between like the pinks and the blue is really solid. Like, she's a vibe. She's a vibe, y'all. But we are on to Bloom. It's really hard with all of their wings to align them all up nicely. There we go. So for Bloom, the only thing I knew beforehand was that like she's certainly the main character. I knew that much. She's the Fairy of the Dragon Flame, which I don't think that I would have guessed just based on looking at her like without a ton of knowledge about the show. Just because like for me, when I think fire, I definitely think more of like the orange of her hair, but all over. I do think it's kind of cool though. I mean, again, I know she's the main character, so she sort of gets special extra treatment, and maybe like Dragonfire is blue, but I think it's kind of cool that they went with this different color story, and it just, she definitely stands out. She's definitely giving main character energy. Her wings, I would say, look like fairly traditional fairy to me, but they are giving with like the amount of like swirly tips on there that they have a little bit of that fire aspect. There's like blues and a little hint of green and some purple in there with the gold sparkly like veins almost going through. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Her face, very cutie. I do think in person, funnily enough, she's like one of my least favorite faces. It's still not bad though. I'm just saying like my opinion has shifted since when I saw the promo photos, clearly. But like it is still quite nice here. Her hair is so cool. Sadly, one of my braids is like a little iffy. I can fix that one though. I love this. I just love how they've styled her hair where it's like out of her face and then we've got all these like a crown of braids pulled back. It's so pretty. Also, like I am aware I have not checked any rooting on these. I don't want to pull the hairstyles down, y'all. I know I'm being a bad reviewer. But I don't want to have to try to like redo these because especially with the braids, I feel like I'm not going to get them as nice and I don't want to mess up their hair because they're so cutie patootie. So I'm sorry. I mean, we can like kind of check the, okay guys, like this bit here. It's definitely not like insanely thick, if y'all can see that. But I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just not like, whoa, holy hair, you know, it's an average amount of hair, I would say. Moving on down to her outfit, the only bit I don't like is this like shoulder pad, epaulette, cap, sleeve situation. I don't know what to call that thing. I'm sure like in a drawing it looks really, really good, but just as a doll item, I think it just sits kind of weird and like, I don't know. It's definitely not the worst, but like low key, I'm thinking about cutting these two little pieces off. Everything else, though, I think it's very fun. Once again, I'm going to keep saying this lots of different fabrics. Props to them for making this fabric look good because I can be very picky about this. I feel like I've certainly complained about this before on the channel, but it's so pretty. And the way it reflects the rainbows, it's not doing it very much on camera. That's so sad. In person, it is so holographic. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Like, I just, the colors are so cool and anything sparkly. I should have known I was going to want these dolls despite the promo images just based on how sparkly they are because I love glitter. Speaking of glitter, her shoes, encrusted, encrusted. I will say I've handled 3 of these dolls now, and this is the amount of glitter fallout on my hands, which I don't even think you can see on camera. There's definitely a little bit, but it's minimal, I would say. So 4 dolls that are so sparkly, I do think that they've done a good job at mitigating this fallout as much as they can do. And I really like her shoes, the pink platforms, and then the gradient I think is really, really nice. It definitely feels like she got some extra attention being the main character, but ugh, she's so pretty, and we have to keep going because we're on to Techna now. So Techna, as her name suggests, is the fairy of technology, which like I know this was already a thing back in the original Winx. Like I know this isn't new to this iteration. Are we calling them generations? I'm obviously out of the loop. So I'm just saying iteration for now. Please correct me if there's like a better term that the wider community is using. But I know that like Techna and like the technology fairy has been a thing in Winx for a hot minute. I just think it's really fun. I think that that's a really interesting thing to do because generally speaking, it feels like when we think of fairies, we think of nature the most, right? Which I mean, that is the most common form of fairy, I think, at least in like media in America. And you know, technology is sort of the opposite of that. So I think that having a fairy of technology just feels very unique inherently and is really an interesting way to go about doing things. And I really do approve of how they've done her. So she does have really short hair. It is one piece. It's a solid chunk. Very nice asymmetrical bob though, like popping off. And she does have a little side shave hiding under there. Like some of her hair is literally glued to her head with how gelled it is. So she's certainly going to need a shower. But as a fellow side shave human being, of course I have to like, like I just think that that's really, it's fun to see. Face wise, her eyes, for some reason, are so striking to me. Like, just the color is so crazy. She has a lot of glue randomly. I'm assuming it's because she has the most gel in her hair out of all of them. So there's like a lot of glue spots on her face. That'll come off with just like warm water and soap. So I'm not worried about it. But just so you guys know, if that's like not something that you're comfortable washing off your dolls and you're buying these in person, like be on the lookout for these little glue marks. Oh, shoot, you can't buy Techna in person. Rip. I don't even know what to tell y'all at that point. Anyway, though, I do think her lips are maybe like not the best color. She's just got, like I said, like sort of a more androgynous, like slightly punky vibe to her, and I think she would have done better with a darker lip. I might repaint that, can't even lie. But outside of that, I think her face is very cute. The wings are pretty fun. Again, I could personally stand for more glitter, but I could kind of always stand for more glitter. But they're like little circuit boards. And I do like the shape of them. I think that feels both very fairy, but also very futuristic and technology. And I just think that they did a really, really good job with that. She is the only one who gets full pants, which we love to see. It's so cool. I will say my top is like a little bit asymmetrically hemmed here. It's not the end of the world, but again, like just something to sort of be aware of that when you order her, if you order her, that could be a thing that you deal with. But she's got like ribbon straps, this like fun sparkly fabric in the middle, and then the pants, and they are like full long. You can see where they tuck into the boots. I just love that. I just love that for her. I think it's nice. I think it makes her stand out. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the character, but it fits the character that I feel like I'm getting. They're just so nice. And her boots are also shockingly detailed. Like, I don't know if it's because they saved budget on, not having as much hair that they had to do for her or what, but her boots have so much painted detail and they look so cool. I'm obsessed. I love all of them. I can't believe I thought I wasn't going to buy these dolls. I should have known better. All right. On to Flora. Let me double check. Okay, so she's the fairy of nature. By the name Flora, I was like, I thought flower fairy, but I just wanted to check and make sure I was being specific enough about what type of fairy she is. She's very cute. It's interesting to me because I think they all have the same face. No, they don't have the same face sculpt. That's nice. I thought they just had different screenings in the same sculpt, but they do have individual sculpts. At least some of them do. So that's really, really cool. Something about her sculpt feels inviting. Like I feel safe with this face. I don't know what it is. I just think she's like really nice. She's got her big fat braid that I think is so cool. She does have the same sort of tinsel as Aisha, where it's got like this green reflective to it. So again, it really stands out. It's like a visual punch, but like a positive visual punch. I love that they rooted like a little bit of this blonde at her like hairline and then in her bangs here, and it just trails into the braid. I just think she's so pretty. These are probably the most like traditionally fairy wings, but they're still executed really well, and I really love them for that. I can't even lie. Like they're just the way they flutter. It's so pretty. She does have this choker. It doesn't come off. Like that's the where it's like sewn together. So if you want the choker off, you either got to cut it or you got to pop her head off, which is, a little iffy for some people. I personally don't care because I fully intend to keep her in this, but just so you're aware, she's got these little like armbands with these roses on them that are fully separate. Those are really, really cute. And then her dress, I was nervous, okay? I was nervous about this one. I was not certain that I would like her dress when I got it like out of the box, just because I think that, I don't know, it can look a little bit stiff in the pictures and in box, but it does look really, really good. I love the layers. I like how this fabric that they use, this like top layer here, is so shimmery and iridescent and it like flashes green. I just think that's so cool to get to have that little like pop of color there, and it matches her hair so gorgeous. The ruffle detailing too along her bodice is a very, very nice touch, and just all these layers, like so solid. Her shoes, I think, are probably my least favorite. There's no painted detail on them. I do really like the silhouette because she's the only one who has short boots, and so that makes her stand out. And I do think that with the outfit, the short boots look really, really solid. I just wish that the top portion that has like this texturing was a different color to the bottom portion. So I might go through and do that myself. But yeah, genuinely just like so fun, so cutie. And that brings us to the last doll for today, Miss Stella, she is the fairy of the sun and the moon. I was able to guess sun based on the wings, but I wasn't 100% sure. I think her face might work the least for me, but I'm honestly wondering if it's the pink of the lips again, because with the all orange outfit, I think that she would benefit from like a more corally tone or like a full out orange lip, or ooh, like a brown could be really pretty with her like nice brown eyes. I don't know. So that's like throwing me off a smidgen, but again, it's not enough to like not like her. I kind of feel mean saying that about her. On the flip side, I think does she have my favorite wings? I don't know. She's in competition for my favorite wings. The back goes crazy hard with that orange. So gorgeous. I just like that there's a lot of glitter, if we're being 100% honest here. So that's just my bias there. She also has the little shoulder caps like Bloom had, but Bloom only had one, and I think hers was at least shaped a little bit better. These have got to go. Like, that's the way there's just like floating triangles. I cannot. I cannot. Otherwise, though, I think that her outfit is pretty solid. The top is definitely a little bit bulky. The skirt, though, I think is very, very cute. Like this ultra mini flowy, or not flowy, but like poofy skirt. It's really solid. Plus, she's an orange girly, okay? Y'all know I'm obsessed. Oh my god, Aisha, girly. Hello? Why would you do that? Can we stay calm? Okay. I'm obsessed with the color orange. So, like, of course, if you give me a doll that's all in orange, I'm gonna like it. When it comes to the shoes, she's got these big, tall yellow boots with a little bit of pink painted detail on the top. There's like a lot of glitter right there. The camera is like not picking up the glitter enough, and I'm a little aggravated about it, but there's like a distinct spray of glitter there. The boots, the thing that bothers me is the pink. I just don't like that. Like, much the same way that I didn't think it looked good on her lips. I just don't. I think that that should have been orange to tie it in, because then it's like a reversal of her skirt where it's like orange with these faint little yellow stripes. Then if her boots are yellow with the faint orange stripes, we got to repaint that. We'll fix it. So, like, she's going to take a little bit more finessing, but I still do think she's going to be a very cute girly pop. So let me go ahead and turn them all around, and then we can do like my final thoughts. Okay, I'm trying really hard to figure out how to re-rank these. What is my favorite? Because it's just like I think Aisha has my favorite hair, but I think Musa has my favorite outfit, but Bloom is really striking. But I feel like weirdly connected to Techna. Like, oh no. Okay, let's go bottom up. Stella is still my least favorite. Sorry, Stella girl. There's just like, you know, a couple of issues that we gotta fix. Then I still think with the shoes, it's Flora. I think Flora's my second least favorite. This hurts so bad. But then I think we have Aisha, just because once I like got a better look at these three, I still think her hair is my favorite, but I think like the overall, like everything all together of these three is a little bit better. I feel so awful saying that. Then I think it's then Techna, then Bloom, then Musa. I think Musa's my favorite now. But I like them so much. I feel so mean even saying that. So I guess that's a testament to how happy I am that I changed my mind and got these dolls. Real glad that I saw them in stores and decided to take the plunge, because like now I'm so excited that I have them, and now I'm just like, I really hope that this reboot and this line does well enough for us to keep getting dolls, because I want to see what else they can come out with. And if they like amp up the articulation, I think there's a lot to look forward to with these gals. Okay, as far as favorite and least favorite things, I mean, the least favorite thing has to be like the lack of articulation, because y'all know I'm a bit of an articulation snob. I prefer my dolls to be extremely articulated, so that's pretty obviously my least favorite thing. I think my favorite thing is just the amount of sparkle that we have going on. I just love that. I love how shiny and shimmery they all are. I love the fabrics that they use, the glitter on the wings, the tinsel in the hair. Like, I love it. And the other favorite thing is the mechanism for the wings and like the way that the wings look overall. 10 out of 10, gorgeous dolls. But that's going to be it for my thoughts. Please do let me know your opinions on these dolls in the comments down below, especially if you've had a similar experience to me. Because like, trying to check my camera, I think that these dolls on camera look better than they did in the promo like photos, but I still don't think they look as good as they do in person. Like, I really am scared that these are just dolls that do not photograph well. So let me know if you guys also were like, I don't care about this, and then saw them in the store. I'm just nosy to see if anybody else had the same experience I did. Let me know who's your favorite and what you're hoping for and all that jazz. But yeah, those are sort of my thoughts. Surprisingly, extremely positive on the Winx girlies, even though I originally didn't think I was going to buy any of them. But now there are 6 of them in my collection, and I could not be happier. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I do hope you had just as much fun as I did in today's video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.